And hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stuart Finder. Welcome to my solo review of AEW Double or Nothing 2022. Yes, so obviously it's all by myself doing a review yet again. At some point Josh will be back to do these reviews. It's just find the time and the right place. Hopefully at some point you're just going to do a review and Josh is just going to be there. And it's going to be a very awesome thing. But until then, you've still got to stick with little old B, putting my opinions on AEW Double or Nothing. That, as to be fair, was a very long show. Nearly 4.5 hours. Took me most of the day yesterday to watch it, because I didn't stay up to watch it this time. But yeah, I mean, it was stacked like what, 12, 13 matches. Obviously, we had the big main event with Hangman Adam Page defending his AEW World Championship against CM Punk's first title defense since 2012, if my memory serves me correctly. But yeah, I mean, it had some cool stuff that I was really looking forward to seeing. I think the main event was probably the big one. Probably Anarchy in the Arena kind of match. Looked like it was going to be a pretty crazy match, and obviously in the end it turned out to be pretty mental. I don't know what to say really more. That I think I'll get more into each match, but as a show, I really enjoyed it. I think there are a couple of matches they could have cut off, like especially like Kyle O'Reilly maybe versus Darby Allin could have been a very good match in the special. The TBS match felt like a bit off, or you could say the Aleister Black stuff could have been tag team match could have been off. They could have trimmed this down to 7 to 8 matches, but I get it. They only do like once every couple of months, so they had to stack it as much as possible. But yeah, I mean the energy of the crowd was pretty good, so it's not like it was like bored or anything like that. It seems to be they timed it well enough. I think it was just for me personally, me watching it. It was hard. I mean, just because it's like watching 4 hours of wrestling, even if you enjoy it, it is a slog. So, and to be fair, we all complain about WWE doing it at WrestleMania, and then AEW kind of do it. But I guess it's different because WWE at times, just a lot of the stuff can be a bit not that great. But AEW does put on some 9 times out of 10 pretty good matches, or very like more intriguing matches, probably. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that debate. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the show in the end. I think at first I thought it was too long, but then when you look back at it, it's kind of like the kind of matches and all the quality. It was a very good show. Was it the best AEW show I've seen? No. It's definitely not. I mean, that'll probably be All Out or Full Gear last year. Probably two of the best they've ever done. So, but yeah, enough of me chatting, I guess. You're here to hear my views on pretty much the entire show. We're going to go and read detail on every match. But before we do that, please like and subscribe. We're hitting like really big numbers every time I check. We're slowly growing. Obviously, last time I checked, we're on like the 160s. So hopefully, at some point, we're going to get to the magic 200 number for subscribers. That, when you think about it, it's crazy for how long me and Josh have been doing this. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Please comment. Love to hear your thoughts on this review. Do you like this video style? Or do you want us to go back to kind of just hear our voices, not our faces? That kind of stuff. Please let us know in the comments below. But yeah, I'm guessing just go straight into talking about the main show. Let's go and talk about the match that opened the card. And that is MJF going against Wardlow. So yeah, so obviously we kicked off AEW Double or Nothing with MJF going against Wardlow in a match that built up quite nicely. A lot of the stuff with the MJF try everything to try and stop Wardlow from getting his hands on him and getting that contract, so he's out of that contract working for MJF. But to be fair, the problem with that is that story came secondary to all the rumours that was rolling around the interweb. About was it MJF someone's booked a flight for MJF to leave Las Vegas. So a lot of people there's a lot of rumours that he's having disagreements with Tony Khan about his contract situation. And so a lot of people are starting to think, okay, is he actually going to turn up? Is he going to turn up? Is this going to be one of these things where he doesn't turn up and, as the old saying, he took his ball and went home type situation? We didn't know. Obviously, he did come out in the end, obviously, and yeah, I mean, it was a weird match in the sense of it was only 7 minutes, but it just felt very rushed. It felt like a match that's like, okay, we need to get this done quickly, and we need to get it done. Boom, 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 done it at this point, and that's what the match felt like. It should have been a big moment for Wardlow. Obviously, Wardlow did win. The story was, if he wins, Wardlow. I think the stipulation was that if Wardlow wins, he's out of MJF's contract. But if MJF wins, I think he's out of AEW forever or something like that. But yeah, I mean the stipulation had it all staked, but then I think this contract situation, the way MJF is rumoured to be feeling, we don't know if this is work. We don't know. We just don't. All that kind of stuff. We kind of didn't know what going in, but I went in, watched it. It was a good match in a sense, but I just feel like they really thought, okay, this feels like a 12-minute, 15-minute match, and they put down a 7 because I wasn't sure if MJF would turn up. So when he did turn up, they kind of went, okay, we're going to go for it, get through this, just get it out of the way, and then we'll move on, and then whatever. And this is what it kind of felt like. I mean, it had some cool moments in it. I mean, you had a lot of MJF trying to get one away from him, usual stuff. Wardlow got him in the end. We had a bit with the bit when I think that clothesline on the outside, done his leg in or something like that. Done his leg in, but he faked it, and he was acting like, oh, pain. So we know he's done this before. So, and I like the idea that no one's buying it, even the crowd's gone bullshit. I like that. Yes, and obviously I like the idea that basically he uses this and then he does the thing where he gets a diamond ring. That seems to be his trademark at this point, trying to hit it. And then I love the idea that you got Wardlow standing behind him, and then the ref looking at it and going, "Give me that," like a kid's being like caught sending notes or something, or like he's got his phone out and it's like he keeps getting away all this time, and then that one time he does it, he's like, and the teacher's gone, "Give it here," and that's what it felt like there. But then after that, it just felt. Then we had a bit with the shaking hands. You got the thing like, "Oh, don't hurt me type situation," and then kind of like trying to say, "Oh, I pay you double, I pay you triple," all that kind of stuff. You know, it's what it was. And then obviously one of like, yeah, I take it, and then he trying to go away. You know, kept his hand. Then kind of done the power bombs. Done 10. I think someone said 10. I don't know if this was intentional, but it's obvious that for me, when he said he was going to 10, that's to stick it to Shawn Spears or Tye Dillinger back in the day with 10. So, and the crowd were getting it too, because you can see them doing the 10, 10, 10 chants. So I think that was another dig at Shawn Spears. Wouldn't surprise me if Wardlow's one of the first opponents is against Shawn Spears, and that's going to be his first, like, kind of might keep the feud going. I don't know if they might have already done that because I watched AEW match up. I should really, but yeah, Wardlow gets his moment. Obviously, we go up to the crowd. Tony Schiavone at the top of the ramp. He gives him his contract. Has the graphic. He's all elite. And yeah, and that's awesome. So I think the moment it was supposed to be bigger, but I think the whole thing of MJF, if this is true or not, we don't know, kind of negated it. But Wardlow is all elite, so finally, or he already was, but now he's going to be, he is free from MJF and that contract. So interested to see what they do next with him. Shawn Spears, keep that going, because obviously I wouldn't surprise you that doing 10 with a guy that used to, the whole gimmick was 10, perfection 10. Sure you're not going to go for that? That's what I would do. But yeah, I mean, I think at the moment maybe, unless they put in, what was it, Scorpio Sky back heel, maybe he can go back to the title scene there. Maybe he can. I don't know. The sky's the limit for Wardlow. They built him up perfectly. It's one of the perfect bookings I've seen in a long time. Where it's just like, it's simple. It works. Like, people like a badass, no nonsense wrestler that just beats the crap out of people. It's simple, but it works. It worked for Batista. Was it Braun Strowman back in the day? We loved him because he just basically beat people up and he can pick up strong stuff. It's simple in wrestling, but it's a cool trope. We like badasses. And yeah, he comes across as that. The question is now, what is he going to do without being what the MJF story is like? Getting away from your boss, everyone can relate to that. But can we get away? The question is, what can you do without him now? That's the true question. This is the true test of what Wardlow is all about. So I'm intrigued to see what you do with him. But obviously we'll find out tonight. Obviously I'm recording this on Wednesday, so hopefully we'll find out tonight what that'd be. So yeah, interesting stuff there. So we're interested in MJF as well. We'll find out what's going on there. But so obviously after that we go to the next match. That obviously is a kind of dream match for a lot of people. In the tag team ranks anyway. Maybe for the Young Bucks as well. Obviously it was the Elite versus the Delete. Obviously it was the Hardy Boys, or Hardys, if you want to go by what they actually call them, AEW, going against the Young Bucks. Let's quickly go and talk about that. So obviously next match was the Hardy Boys going against the Young Bucks in a kind of dream match that we've all been thinking of. I mean, I've been kind of keeping an eye on AEW, but not watching it as much, probably because there's a lot of things on my mind at the moment. So putting like maybe 2 hours of wrestling is just not possible at the moment. But yeah, from what I've been watching, it's been pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of stuff with that. I think I'm not quite sure how this before we started, but it wouldn't surprise me because obviously we know that the Young Bucks really admire the Hardys. You can see if the early pictures that they emulated them a lot. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's like they think they're better than them now, type thing, or want to prove they can beat them. Obviously, we still have the. I like the way because now they have ROH. They can reference that really amazing ladder match they had 2017 for the AEW, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. I think the Hardys lost that. I think because obviously they left and then went that famous moment WrestleMania. That still one of the best pops that I've ever had in a long time. So, but yeah, it's. I think that's the whole story there. But yeah, it was an interesting one because obviously Hardy's been interesting. Jeff's been crazy. I mean, obviously got that thing where he done that swanton bomb off the top of the backstage on the 2 tables. I think he was facing. Who was it against the Hardys? Was it Office Association? I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, when Matt Hardy's former group went from the top, crazy stuff there. But you know, it's one of those things. But yeah, I mean, Hardy Boy's been hit and miss in this kind of AEW at the moment. Obviously, they're getting quite on. Obviously, Jeff's. I mean, I don't know the exact age, but he's getting on. And to be fair to this match, it kind of felt it. I don't know what happened to Jeff during this match. I don't know if he got injured. Did he do something? And there was a moment when he went to the top and he was like struggling. He was like his leg was struggling to get on the top rope. And I think it really let the game match down. I think on my notes I've put it's showing he's at the hardest age. More Jeff that he's been doing a lot of crazy stuff the last couple of weeks. And it's like he's getting on. He can't be doing all that stuff in the morning. And to be fair to Young Bucks and Matt, they did cover for him quite nicely. There's some cool moments there. Yeah, I mean Jeff's kind of he's got somewhere. He said another review I saw about it said he needs to calm down. I mean he can't be doing all that stuff anymore. He just can't. So, but yeah, so obviously that we had that stuff. But yeah, good match overall. It's very fun. I enjoyed most of it. You had some cool moments. You had weird thing with Cutler getting a chant because and then what was it, Matt Jackson, or was it? Yeah, Matt Jackson kind of not liking that. I think it was Nick, not liking that. So you know that kind of stuff. We had a cool thing later on in the match where I think you got Nick Jackson kicking Cutler in the face by accident, and then we had a nice little side effect on the apron on the outside that was really cool. Obviously we had the big moment when I was thinking about this match that really stood out was we're talking about Jeff. Stop doing crazy stuff. What does he do? He sits there and puts a steel step on the side. Put I think was it Matt Jackson on there, and then he kind of does a weird swanton bomb onto it, and it lands perfectly. But there's so many ways that could go wrong. So many ways that could go wrong. But it was really cool because obviously it's not the first time we're going to use the steel steps kind of spot in this pay-per-view. But yeah, it was pretty cool stuff there. Well, obviously we got near the end with like super kick party by the Young Bucks. I think like set 8-9. Other bit ones like they hit it and then the Hardys were like bring it. So they kept getting more and more and more. But yeah, I mean. We even got the bit where right at the end where he the Young Bucks hits the Twist of Fate on Matt and done the Swanton Bomb and were going to beat them in the wrong move, but they didn't. But yeah, the match kind of ended with Matt Hardy hitting the side effect, then Twist of Fate tagging in Jeff. He goes to the top, Swanton Bomb, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, the Hardys get the win. That. Yeah, I mean, I think Jeff's got to maybe calm down for a bit, but I don't know if he had an injury or something happened to him, but yeah, something bad happened to him there, so it kind of did let the match down a bit. It was fine though. I enjoyed it a lot, but I think there was obvious change, and maybe that Hardys can't do half of the stuff that they used to do. It's a weird thing in wrestling where you can be like 50, 60, but they still book you like you're still in your 20s or 30s. It's very strange. I mean, for example, Sting. I mean, he's in his 60s and they're making him like, oh, he looks amazing. It's like, he still could have just stood up, but it's just they've booked it in a way it makes him look like he's amazing. But the Young Bucks are obviously the Young Bucks, amazing. So they're interested to see what they do next with that. At first I was like, okay, so the Young Bucks lost, but then you think, well, it means a rubber match now because they won an ROH, because they count that now because they own it. Obviously now the Hardys beating them at this pay-per-view. So the interesting thing, obviously, next one I think is can't tell my head and remember. I think it's All In, or I can't remember what's next. The next big one, hopefully, you know. But there's going to be a nice special at some point where there's going to be a blow-off match, hopefully, or it's going to be a situation I don't know with. Obviously, wouldn't surprise me. I just remember to my head that they've now got that Forbidden Door pay-per-view between New Japan and AEW. That's actually next month, like this month. That's crazy, by the way. So maybe to be involved in that with the split between Adam Cole trying to be an alliance with the Bullet Club, and obviously the Young Bucks not liking it when Kenny Omega might come back whenever he's still injured. There's so many. They might go that way. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's a good match. But yeah, Jeff, calm down. You got to calm down, Jeff. Just calm down. You're not getting any younger. Okay, just calm down. But yeah, so good stuff there. Obviously. Next, we're going to talk about the TBS Women's Championship match between Jade Cargill and Anna Jay. So, yeah, let's go and dive straight in to talk about that match. So, yeah, so obviously let's talk about, you could say the first championship match of the evening. Obviously, we're talking about TBS Championship match between the champion, Jade Cargill, and Anna Jay. In a story that I'm not quite sure why it meant to be. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with the storyline-wise, but for the match itself, I mean, Jade Cargill's been, they've really pushed her to the moon with this TV. I think she's 31-0. She's doing kind of what they would book. It's like they give her a record, make her unbeaten. So at some point, when whoever beats them is going to be a huge deal. I still don't see who can, because I don't think they've built anyone that's obvious that I could see that could take that title from her. I can't see to man. I mean, I don't know, but it's not really the point. Obviously, I've just kind of given away that obviously she did win here. She did win, but spoiler. I mean, sorry, that's the way it is. But yeah, I mean, when it comes, but I mean, has times good. I think that thing with Tony was an alright match when she won the title. Last couple of matches been pretty good, but again, as someone said, she still looks a bit green. She's still been in the business quite young, and you know there's our stuff that she needs to work on. But as I said, she's improving every match, so I can't sit there and fault what they're trying to do with her. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, she's going to get good at some point. She just needs the right opponent, I think. I mean, and I think with this match, I mean, Anna Jay was good, but there were moments it just felt. I don't know if their chemistry wasn't right or just didn't feel right. Something was off there. I don't know. I put mine up sluggish. Would probably be the right word, I would say. It looks like they weren't comfortable what they were doing. It didn't feel fluent. They have moments, but yeah, there's nothing there. There was a moment like early on when she tried to, I think Anna Jay were trying to do a blockbuster from the top, and I don't think she got all of it, and it just looked really, really horrible. But you usually get a sign of a match that needs a bit of help is when they start putting the old saying, when the match becomes a clusterfuck. In the sense of like people get involved, all that kind of stuff. Obviously the baddies in Kale Hogan and Red Velvet came in trying to get involved, and then obviously Anna Jay was able to do a double team DDT on them. They look cool, good for her. Then you got Smart Mark Sterling, obviously coming off the match we didn't put out because it was because it was in the buy-in. Obviously we're talking about the bit when he basically got destroyed by Hook, because obviously Hookhausen, the newest team that I'm liking. I think they put them a bit together too soon, but I guess when the iron's hot, as they say. So, you know, it's fine. I like the idea of he's the Hook's the kind of straight man with the guy that doesn't say anything, and then Danhausen's the one that talks a lot. I can see it. It's a comedy. It's a comedy duo that's worked throughout time, and I finally get why people like Danhausen, because he actually is really good. Funny character, very good. I like him. But it's not the point anyway. But yeah, he comes out, Sterling. He gets a net breaker on the apron. Obviously, he's got injured neck, so he's going to really push that because that's pretty good. He's kind of a really slimy injury lawyer. So, you know, if you want to go stereotypes there. But yeah, I mean, it was just you go in the ring and he kind of, he brought the crutch. This is what I was saying. He brought the crutch in and he folded it, and the usual thing, he distracts the ref, put the crutch. But then Anna Jay took the crutch, hit Cargo with it in the ribs, and then done a leg sweep with it. The ref turned around, didn't get the win. It's unusual, very strange. But then obviously John Silver comes out. He comes out for the save. It's a brainbuster and Sterling. So he's going to probably have his neck. He's probably done. That kind of stuff. Then obviously we had Jay hit the goat, was locking in the Queen Slayer submission move, and she almost made Cargill tap. But yeah, and then obviously we had the bit right at the end when she went to the top. Anna Jay trying to hit one of her moves, and then was it Hathaway? Is it Hathaway? The formerly known, or basically the guy that was managing Diamond Mine in NXT. Really good guy. I think, yeah, I like his promo skills. I really like the way he speaks. He's very, very good. He feels like good authority. I like him. I think they called him Stockley Hathaway, I think his name, or something like that. I mean, terrible for doing a review, and I don't know the guy's name, but again, terrible, eh? But yeah, he comes along, distracts Jade. Then Cargill goes up, hits her big slam, Jade slam from the top. His James Slam from off the middle rope or something like that. It's basically how she won the title. Got the win, and it's 32-0. And yeah, obviously after that, we obviously had a bit when they were facing off. And then obviously we had a debuting Ember Moon. Obviously she's got a different name. I can't remember the top of my head. But yeah, Ember Moon's going to be as joined. So, and a kind of, and obviously we got, what was it? Stratlander, yeah, she's going to be. She came down as well. For that's I said, she came down as well, and yeah, they're kind of setting up a 6-woman tag between the baddies and Jade Cargill going against, yeah, the Ember Moon, Stratlander, and Anna Jay. Again, why not? It's a good feud. It's good middle class, lower class feud. At least doing something. I like Anna Jay, but they need to think of something. The problem is I don't know. All these people they bring in, I still don't know who's going to take that title from Jay Cargill. I can't see it. At least with Britt Baker, it was obvious that they were bigging up that Thunder Rosa was going to take that title, and it built up and it was done well, very well. I mean, we'll talk about her match later on. But yeah, I just don't see it. I don't know what they do. They're bigging up Jay Cargill well, but I don't think she's had that match that goes, whoa, that's good. Like, yeah, I guess in time will tell. She'll just have that click with someone and it'll just be that match. Maybe that might be Statlander. Maybe it might be Ember Moon. I will find out a new name. I think it's really cool. Was it the Fallen Goddess? Brilliant. Brilliant tagline. I love that. Fallen Goddess. Love that. It's a very good name. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do. But I don't know. I mean, but they need to build someone up really well, because at least with they need to build someone so you can believe they can go and win it. I don't want it to be like a simple random. Oh, they just a little bit of a build and win it. They need to build someone up, and I don't know who that would be. I mean, I would say maybe Anna Jay is a good candidate. I would say they could build her up, saying that do a story where she lost a match and that really made her think, and she goes in this winning streak maybe, and then maybe she finally beats her. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Creative mind, always working, always spinning. But yeah, I don't know. Good stuff here, you know. So it's the match was all right. I think this might be harsh to say. Could have probably cut it off. This match could have put it on like a special, like a Dynamite or a Rampage. But I get why they want to put it on here, because obviously the one thing they only got 2. Possibly 3, 3 matches. So, but I think they could have took this off, and it wouldn't have harmed anyone. So, but that's just me. I'm just trying to figure out when I'm doing these reviews. I'm going 3 matches. What match could have cut off? Because I said it's very long pay-per-view, very long. But yeah. So let's go and talk about the next match we want to talk about. Is the 6-man tag match between the House of Black going against Death Triangle. Yeah, match they've been building up for a while. So yeah, let's go and dive straight into that one. So yeah, so next match we're going to talk about is obviously, as I said, the 6-man tag between the House of Black and Death Triangle. Kind of been a feud that's been going on for a long time now. It does feel like the House of Black kind of wandering, obviously, ever since they had Buddy Matthews join. It's probably for a trio. I mean, their promo package has been really interesting, really cool. I like the kind of gothic aesthetic they kind of go for, the kind of cultish darkness they kind of go for. I like that. But yeah, it seems to be mandering around waiting for something to happen. I don't know. This feud's been going on for so long. I don't know what else to do. But yeah, I mean, as a match itself, it was really fun. It was exactly what you expect with a 6-man tag. When you've got people like, you know, Malachi Black, you've got Buddy Murphy, you've got Brody King, you've people like Pac, Penta, was it Pac Penta? Rey Fenix is back. We know how amazing Rey Fenix is. Him coming back, you knew it was going to be crazy spots after crazy spot, action-packed stuff, all kinds of craziness. And you definitely got that in this match. It was amazing. I mean, you had a bit... I mean, another person who was really good match was Brody King, looked amazing in this match. I mean, I think there was a bit where they all triple teamed him and they all done a triple move flip, or like one done a leg drop and everyone did that on him. Stu kicked out of it, but it looks freaking awesome. But we did have a kind of botch later on as well, when like Brody King was trying to do a thing on the outside. I think he slipped and it looked really bad. So bad. But yeah, I mean, it's a that bad match. It said, I'm not going to go for beat by beat because it's as always in these matches, I get so many spots after spots that I can't keep a touch of them. My brain can't keep a touch of them. I don't want to be that kind of reviewer. Not anymore, anyway. Like, you know, beat by beat. But that was, you know, that bit was really cool. I think the one that really shocked me was that bit later on when you've got was it Penta getting a Canadian Destroyer by Buddy Murphy, and I think it was Penta. I think it was Penta that did it. It was really, really cool. Just the way it looked. I mean, Canadian Destroyers always look cool. The one of the weird moves in wrestling, because it's like, okay, you're doing the flip unnecessarily, just do the power driver, not the destroyer. It's a weird move. A lot of people don't like it, but it looks spectacularly cool, and it's an easier move to learn. So you see a lot of a Bad Bunny did it at WrestleMania, I think this year. Yeah. So he did it, and it's like, and obviously we see people like Dusty Rhodes doing it now, because it's a move that needs the trust of the other. So like, if the person's really good, you can make the guy that's doing it look great. You know, it's a really cool move. But we had that. We had a bit later on where obviously American Black was surrounded by Death Triangle, and they're doing a pretty good job trying to hit kicks and all that. But you know, he's he didn't get it. We had a situation where, like, I think was it Pac went to the top, trying to do like his move, but then he couldn't get America kept getting up or something like that, and then he went down a 450, looked really cool. But let's be honest, the kind of ending of this match kind of defines it a little bit with the whole thing with what was it? So you got Pac going to the top, trying to hit the Black Arrow finisher. Looks like he's going to win it. Got him set up for Malachi Black. Then the lights go out. Comes back. Jillian Hart. Again, we know the story. Basically, ever since they spit that mist in her eye all those months ago, she's and the kind of storyline of her being like really distant and kind of like confused. Again, I've got comparisons to Alexa Bliss. This is what he gone, but they pushed that quickly. So, and this one they've let enough over the months where the Velvety Blondes, she just hasn't been the same since that. And now she's fully turned to the dark side. That's ironic when there's a new Star Wars show out that I really like. So, but yeah, she spits in the mist in the eyes of Pac. Pac's out, and then he can't see, and then he turns his way into it, and then boom, Black Mass. 1, 2, 3. And the House of Black win. This means this storyline's going to keep going. Oh, God. Please let it end. It's like, let him do something else. I think Pac, like, what has he did? Like, I would love to see an idea of Pac going after the TNT Championship, or you've got now that Penta's back. Phoenix is back. Then go for tag titles again. I mean, because obviously there is a match set up against the Jurassic Express, because they beat them for the titles. Never got the rematch. They might go there. Maybe they might push that they face the Velvety Blondes first, because obviously the whole thing with Jillian Hart. Maybe that's where they're going to go with it. I don't know. But yeah, so this feud's going on. I mean, I like the continuity of the story. I like stuff like that, where they pay off a thing they've been slowly feeding us for a long time. I like stuff like that. I kind of respect it as a wrestling fan, because it shows like, well, if you've been paying attention, you know it's been set up for a while. So, but it makes sense. I mean, it'd be interesting to see who they pick, I think, to get back into it. I don't know. But who to go against this now. They're not a trio, they're a 4-piece group now. There seems to be a lot of them going around at the moment. But, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but you knew it was getting spooky, but as a match, it was great. Really good. Really action-packed. Awesome movesets. Awesome stuff. Interesting finish. Makes me want to... I'm curious to see what they're going to do next. So, if a match does that, what more can I really complain? I can't really complain about it, can I? Only thing I'm going to keep complaining about is, wow, this pay-per-view was long. Too long. But, yeah, so that's awesome. So, now we're going to go... Obviously, as you know, like a lot of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament's been going on last couple of weeks, and obviously this match and obviously next match as well is been the tournament final. Obviously the winner gets a nice title and a nice trophy that looks very similar to the Champions League. Just saying, or a little bit like the Premier League title. We'll talk about that later when we get into the bit who won. But yes, obviously the first of that would be the men's, and that's what we're going to talk about next. It's going to be Samoa Joe, the ROH television champion, going against Adam Cole, baby, with the winner becoming the first winner of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. So it'll be interesting to see. It was an interesting match, but let's go and talk. Let's go and dive straight. Let's go into it. Let's go and talk about that match. So yes, obviously one of the two tournament final matches, obviously the men's and the women's. Obviously we started off with the men's, with Samoa Joe going against Adam Cole. Very strangely booked. It's weird because it's like supposed to be a tournament final. It just didn't feel special, not in the way that I would have liked it. Obviously we'll talk about the women's leg, but that felt way more special than this one. I mean, it was a good technical match, very good. I liked it. Obviously, we had a situation of Samoa Joe just qualified after beating Kyle O'Reilly on, Dynamite. I think it was Dynamite. So he gets to face Adam Cole. I don't know top of my head of who they got to get to the final, but it was a really good tournament from what I've heard. So as you expect, I love tournaments. Seriously, I do. Wrestling tournaments are so much fun because you can just watch it. And for the love of just watching a great match. And the storylines can be put on back burners. You can do storylines in matches, but it's why the G1, everyone loves the G1 in New Japan. Because it's just fun. You can put a bit of stories in there, but it's just a lot. In tournament, you know you're going to get great matches. You normally do anyway. So that's why I like tournaments. But yeah, this match kind of had it. We keep forgetting it, obviously, like Cole's the heel, but you kind of want him to win. Joe's the face, but I mean, I'm surprised they didn't get who's he going against? He's going against Jay Lethal in his group. I've been attacking him. It's really weird. I mean, it depends on if they whatever they're going to do with ROH. I do not know. There's no talk I've heard of what they're going to do with him. But yeah, I mean, it's a good technical match. Had a cool stuff. We had a bit like later on, obviously on the outside. Joe was going to go for that. I think Adam Cole was sitting in the corner or the outside near the barricades or the railings. He's going to go for that thing where he goes kicks in the face, but Adam Cole gets it away with a super kick, then throws him into the ring post, shoulder into ring post, and that's basically what Adam Cole kind of did for the match, kind of working on that shoulder. Makes sense because obviously I think he's had injuries in the fall. We had taped up there. Cole had his one as well. So I mean, it was just really cool. You had but back and forth. You had super kicks. You had Joe hitting like STFs, looking in to try and work on his arm. That kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, near the end of the match, you had a thing where obviously Bobby Fish came out for the distraction. Almost worked, but obviously trying to wrench that arm, but he did in the end. And then Cole hit the boom knee, but Joy avoided it and went for a choke type situation. Then obviously Joe hit a huge chop on Cole, and then we had 3 straight super kicks by Adam Cole, and then the running boom. For 1, 2, 3. So yeah, and he is the first to win that tournament. A lot of cool stuff in there, but basically the story was worked on the arm. Bobby Fish got in there. I think he worked on the arm, distracted enough that Cole can hit super kicks and hit his finisher, get a win. It's a weird one, but I feel it felt like just a normal tournament match. It didn't feel like a final to me. I mean, it was a good match. Joe, one of the best wrestlers of all time. Adam, you've obviously got Joe and Adam Cole, amazing. Come on. I mean, a lot of people criticise not doing as much, but he's doing exactly how he was kind of booked in NXT. If you watch it, it took him a while until he even got a sniff at the World Title. He didn't even win it until 2 years. I think it was really pushing. He wasn't even close to it. So don't be surprised that in the next couple of months that he wins a title at some point. Might not be the world one, but he's won this one, so it's a good start for him. But with Joe, I think the storyline with Jay Lethal and his group, Sanjay Dutt, and I can't remember the other guy's name. It's really big, Indian basketball star, I think. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, interesting one there. Whenever they start out, whatever the plans are for ROH as a weekly TV show, I don't know. Don't know what they're going to do there. But yeah, so he gets the win. Obviously, we've got to point out that there was stuff like with the sharpshooters throughout the night, because obviously Owen Hart tribute, a lot of them were terrible. I don't know why. It's similar to when The Rock used to do sharpshooters, and they were just awful. No one can do sharpshooters like the Harts. No one can. I've never seen a good proper one. Not in a while anyway. So yes, and obviously had the gear as well. Homage to him as well. But yeah, I think it was a fun match. I think it done the job. I just feel if tournament final should be a bit, it just didn't feel as big as, maybe it's just me personally, didn't feel as big as I would like. But yeah, I mean, Cole winning it makes sense. So I guess it kind of a foregone conclusion who's going to win the women's final, right? Kind of sets it up quite nicely. But yeah, so good match. I wish it was felt a bit more special. Maybe it's just me. Other people might have liked it, and that's cool. That's cool. I don't mind that. But yeah, so obviously now we talked about the men's. Now we've got to talk about the women's. We've got to talk about the tournament final with obviously Britt Baker, DMD, going against Ruby Soho. So this should be a good match, and it was a good match. I don't know why past tense. It's already happened. It's already happened. But it was a good match. But let's go and talk about a little bit more detail. Let's go into it. Let's talk about this match. So yes, as we were saying, next we are going to talk about the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final match. Wow, that was a mouthful. With Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, going against Ruby Soho. Now, this match felt like a tournament final. It felt special. They've picked it up. They've done it well. I think this felt like a tournament final winner for me. That's some cool. Obviously, they had a little the thing they always do that I really like when they do it. Pay-per-views is they get live performances. Obviously, we had Britt Baker coming down with Rick Ward from Fozzy. They've done it before a couple of times when he comes down with guitar. But the problem with it, as someone rightly said, point out, you wouldn't have known he was playing guitar. He was just playing the rhythm side of the track. So it's not like he was doing solos or anything. So like you wouldn't have known. So just some guys walking down, just like not doing anything. It looks cool, but the execution wasn't as cool as you would think. But the next entrance was freaking awesome. We got Rancid singing Ruby Soho live, and it sounded amazing. Love Rancid, so good. And this is why I like Ruby Soho's name, because I've literally thought, what do we call? Well, there's a song called Ruby Soho, and they're talking about Ruby Soho. It's like, it's just brilliant. I love that. You get a name from a song, and now that if you use that song, it makes it sound like they wrote it for you when they didn't. It's brilliant. I love it. It was very cool. Obviously, he had a good homage with the jacket she was wearing as well to Owen Hart. Don't think it was ever used, but it was really cool in that sense. So, but yeah, I mean, they said it just felt like a special, felt like a tournament final. It felt big. Felt big. And in a way, they did. And it very, very felt like that, to be fair. I mean, you had counter each other early on, but I like the bit with, I think that was it, Baker counter Ruby on the top rope, done a front suplex, and then when she ran and hit a lead and hit a stomp to get on. I think she has one matches with that on the stomp on Ruby Soho, but a good near fall there. We had a bit with, obviously she did get the black glove, DMD. We must point out that obviously her entourage with Ruby and was it Ruby Rebel and can't remember not Hader, yeah, I think that was it. They weren't down, so it's like it was proper like she's a heel. I think she's technically still a heel, I think, or she's a twin. I don't know. But yeah, so obviously you had a bit where she done the D&D taunt, got the black gloves, trying to go for the lockjaw, obviously, and Ruby was able to counter it into a kind of takedown and kind of attempt. I think she's trying to go for herself, and then she countered it into a kind of no future kick. It was really cool. Again, Ruby applied her own Owen Hart's submission, but again, couldn't lock it in. No one can do a good one apparently for this entire night. That was cool. We had Ruby Soho in the middle, on her back in the middle, of Brock in the middle rope, and then again another sharpshooter attempt. But yeah, the kind of finish kind of went basically. You got Ruby trying to go for a victory roll was it pin? Baker countered. Got the 1, 2, 3. So it's a quick pin. So it's like I don't know. I'm a bit indifferent. It's like, oh, is that it? But when you think about it, it kind of protects Ruby, because it's like, okay, it wasn't a clean win. She won, but it's like it wasn't like she lost because she's better woman. She just Britt Baker outsmarted her. like just a little bit, like just what she tried to go up in, she just snapped decision, countered it, was able to keep it down just long enough. Ruby Soho doesn't look bad, and then obviously Britt Baker gets the win. But to be fair, I mean, when I was thinking about it, I think who we need to win more, probably Ruby Soho, I would say. But I get it, because obviously if Adam Cole won, got to have Britt Baker win it because it's a good image. It looks good. Well, obviously they're both together. Obviously they're both. It just, I get it. I get why they went Britt Baker. I don't think they done it for like any storyline. I think the image, and it's just a nice visual. Obviously because they're both together and they're both like that kind of stuff. And I think they're both heels, so it makes sense that, you know, it'd be different. It'd be very awkward if we had Ruby Soho with it, and then Adam Cole. It wouldn't have worked. It just wouldn't have worked, would it? So yeah, I said I think this match is better than the women's one by far. Felt special, very good. I think Britt shown why she's amazing. Ruby Soho shows why she's amazing. So I think it's a really good match. Really enjoyed this. Very, very good. Very good. Very enjoyed this very much so. Then obviously after that they did the whole presentation. We had a speech by Owen Hart's wife, that was very touching, very nice. Obviously got their own belts that looked really cool, and they got the trophy that I did say. I mean, this is probably not what they were thinking at all, but it looks like either the Premier League or the Champions League trophy. It's a nice trophy. It's not like the traditional ones they do, where it's like the ones WWE do, where it's like the pillars and the thing, and they use, it's just another excuse so they can, you know, actually destroy it. But this one actually looks like an actual trophy, and that's really cool. I'm saying just because Tony Khan is the owner of Fulham, wouldn't surprise me if you thought, oh, what can we do with trophy? Oh, that Premier League title looks pretty cool. I like the way you look at that. So he made the, because it looked like that. I think that looks like the Premier League title. Might be me. Maybe it's like blurring my lines between my pro wrestling and my football. So it's the way it is. But yeah, good stuff. It made sense. I would have gone Ruby just because I think she needed more. But Britt, Adam Cole won. Britt would have made sense. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, with Ruby, I don't know what they're going to do, because obviously there's been talk. There's a lot of, with the women's division, it's not as good as it should be. It should be better. They've got all this talent, and this doesn't feel like they're hitting at all cylinders at the moment. I don't know what they need to really push it. I mean, the biggest feud I think they've had, me personally, that I've enjoyed, obviously, is Britt Baker and Tony and Thunder Rosa. That felt like a huge one. But except for that, I can't name a huge feud, and that's the problem. I don't think they don't have enough time built up as much as I would like. Hopefully this will change. Obviously with Ember Moon, I will get her name at some point. Ember Moon. I'm going to call it until I get it right. It's what I did with everybody else. That's how I know her. That's how I know her. So it's been interesting to see what they do there. But I don't know what you can do. I mean, to be fair, it's just simple. They've got the wrestlers. They've got it there. I think it's just it's this thing I was built up in life, that sometimes you just keep doing things, and then one time it just clicks, and then just everything works. Maybe that's what they're going to do here. I don't know, but yeah, it always needs a bit of work. But I mean, it's a work in progress. Maybe I gave them too much leeway, because obviously it's a newer company, it's AEW, and I actually enjoy what they give to me. So I give them a bit more leeway than it would be WWE, because they've got a history of disappointing me a lot. So maybe it's my burst. I don't know. Maybe, or maybe I'm just trying to be a more understanding person. We don't know. But anyway, yeah. So let's see what they do there. But after that, we obviously have to talk about, I think, another 6-man tag. Probably say not the one everyone was totally looking forward to. I know I wasn't really. Obviously, with the American Top Team, or Men of the Year, was Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and the debut of Paige Van Zan. She's making her in-ring debut in this match, going against Sammy Guevara, the most hated man at the moment. No one likes him. Ty Conte and Frankie Kazarian in a 6-man tag. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's go and talk about that match. So yeah, so obviously next match talking about is obviously the American Top Team going against Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian and Ty Conte in a 6-person tag match. I should have put man, but it's 6-person because there's women involved. So yeah, I mean, as someone said rightly, I think it's the first mixed tag match they've had on AEW. So 6, yeah, I think it might be actually, yeah. So it's making history if you want to go there. But yeah, I mean, the story of basically here is obviously the whole. It's basically around the idea of Scorpio Sky and the continuous feud between Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky. it's a weird one, this one, because it's like it started out as Sammy Guevara being the face, but because of his actions and his relationship being so public with Ty Conte, everyone hates him. Could be jealousy. It could be jealousy. It probably is jealousy when you got something like you going out with something like Ty Conte. You kind of don't want people just don't want to be like put like, you know, shove it in their faces that basically you've got one very beautiful woman, you're dating a very beautiful woman. So everyone's that, and the idea that they're doing the old kissing all the time situation makes people just go awkward and just don't want to be around them. There's other aspects, I think, but it's funny that he was supposed to be a face and now he's turned into this ultimate hated heel. So and Scorpio Sky has become a face for this feud, I think, and then he's gone back to being heel because obviously we'll talk about that after the match. But yeah, and obviously with that stuff, Sammy Guevara is basically what the most of the match was basically Sammy's too busy trying to impress his girl, trying to impress her. Every time they had a chance, kissing as, you know, obnoxiously as you can. And then obviously got Frankie Kazarian being pissed, not happy with this, because he's like, you do realise if we lose, I'm sure Kazarian was, if he can't challenge Thingy either in this match. He said Sammy Guevara, but I'm sure like Frankie Kazarian, I don't think he could have. So he's pissed, like, stop goofing around. Stop goofing around, mate. You know? We're both on the line. I think that's what the feud was. But on the other side, it was just basically like they were working the tag team. Was it Ethan Page basically wants to destroy Sammy Guevara. He is pissed with him. And I love that. Yeah, it's basically that was the story for the match. Basically until... Basically, had a bit was it seemed to be a situation where Sammy Guevara, his showboating, get him in trouble, that kind of stuff. But I mean, it was really set up. Obviously, he had a bit where later on the match, Ty and Van Zan facing off finally, and it was awkward as hell. Let's be fair. Sunday matches were awful. Sunday offers were just awkward. I think the drive. I can't remember most of my moves, but they just didn't look right. Obviously, it just shows how green Van Zan is as a professional wrestler. Ty tried her best, but yeah, I think it's one of those things. But yeah, it's cool. This beating match, what the match was. I do like the finish though, where we're kind of near the end of the match. Obviously, was it Kasabian, Frankie Kazarian. I mean, I don't know why I get it confused with the band because you know. It actually mess with your head sometimes, but yes, obviously he tagged himself in, and you know, going after him, awesome cutters, super kicks. You know, I do love his cutters. It looked amazing. Then obviously Kaya didn't like this, so got mad of him, and then Sammy went for a super kick on Kazarian. Was it Frankie Kazarian? He gets out of the way, kicks her, and again, this is kind of just twice in a couple of weeks. And she got kicked in AAA, I think, when she was in AAA. Same thing. She booked it like a champ. Like, you gotta love it. I mean, she sold it like a champ. I mean, that was really cool. And he got a chance. Fans saying, "You fucked up. You fucked up." This obviously distracted him. So Sammy was sent out the ring. Page with a kick on Kazarian, and Sky hits the TKO on Frankie Kazarian and gets the pin, gets the win. They get the win, and no more Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky. He cannot challenge Scorpio Sky. Except Frankie Kazarian, not Frankie Kazarian. Yeah, I think the stipulation was Frankie Kazarian and Sammy Guevara can't challenge. I'm sure that's the one. I might be wrong. Please let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. But yeah, so the end of that feud, it was fine. Obviously, we forgot to point out that obviously they went into the Megan Top Team's gym and took their titles. So obviously, the end image was them getting their titles back that was stolen, and Frankie. Scorpio Sky's cool new little colour. I like his belt. I like the colour cut scheme there. It's really cool. I like it. So, but yes, the end of that. Again, it's weird. It's weird. You know you're on the wrong side of history when was it? Lambert is is the good guy. I mean, I personally like Frank Lambert. A lot of people hate him. But he's a good talker. He knows how to push your buttons. He's an old school heel that just knows what to say for people to go, you know what? Fuck you. Like, maybe find my language. But that's what it feels like. Like, he's a guy that goes, you know what? Screw you, man. I hate you. It's old school. And I do love a bit of old school heel. Obviously, and he comes across as the old, like, the Jim Cornettes of the world. You know, like, this isn't wrestling anymore. Remember days when wrestling was wrestling. Now it's just flipped flippies and guys that don't deserve to be in the ring, that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously now he's kind of like, he's the good guy because everyone hates Sammy Guevara, but be interesting. I'm assuming that they're flipping back. See what I said there? Flipping back to him being a heel, Scorpius Sky, because obviously later on, maybe not in this, later on in the show, obviously we had a situation where obviously Dante Martin challenged him, so that should be probably a guy to start a feud, probably a Dynamite, really good, or a Rampage title defense, you know, getting back on track, and then see who they go for next. I was surprised when Miro comes back because obviously I haven't seen him for a while, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, so a good match. It wasn't great. It wasn't exactly that standout. I had some cool moments. I think Van Zam was okay in the match because it wasn't as good as I would like. But first match, obviously she gets better all the time, so that's really cool. But yeah, Sammy Kazabian, I don't know. I might be wrong on the stipulation. I might be wrong, but I still want to see more of that feud. It feels like they've just blown it with that one. Former partners become friends. They kind of only done it just to beat so Sammy Guevara can have a partner. Yeah, I think I don't know if that's stipulation. We'll find out in Dynamite. I might be wrong, but I hope not, because I think the next feud would be cool between Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian for that title, because then it could be about the title, but it's personal, and you can always make a cool story if the right people, if it's personal. I just know that from just story in general. So it'd be interesting to see what they do there. But yeah, so from one match that was it was alright, to a match that I do believe should probably not have been on the card, but it was still a good match overall. Obviously, it was the match between Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin in just a normal single match. So singles match, I mean. So that's just let's go and talk about that one. Yeah, so next match we talk about is the match between Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin. As I said before, it's a match that I felt like, why is this on the pay-per-view? I mean, it's a good match. And it's against, obviously Kyle O'Reilly's awesome, Darby Allin's Darby Allin. So you knew it was going to be a good match. But the story here just feels so... it's a weird one. It's a strange... basically a simple thing. I think Kyle O'Reilly took out Sting. Darby Allin's pissed. Got to have a match. It's very simple. It doesn't feel like a lot of the other stuff has layers, and this feels like it's a match that's like, okay, we'll put it on the show. It's very. This is said. It's a main event. It could main event. It could main event a Rampage or Dynamite. Again, if you're going to cut a match out, this should be it. And it's not because it's bad. It is a really good technical match, very physical match as well. Love the stuff like how submission based it was. And it's basically, I think, I don't want to use, was it ground and pound versus speed? Maybe would be good. Because obviously ground and pound, obviously with the submission expert that is Kyle O'Reilly versus the kind of high-flying, kind of death-defying kind of guy that is Darby Allin. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a strange one. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it from the aspect of the match, it's really good. I mean, we got the split early on when they've got, I think, was it Darby Allin got this massive knee to the face by Kyle O'Reilly that freaking looked amazing. It looked good. Must have hurt though. Obviously had a lot of stuff with working on the leg. We had a cool thing where Darby Allin went to the top, tried to go for a coffin drop, and then missed. But then Kyle O'Reilly countered it. It looks like he's going for a choke, but then he went into an armbar. That looks really cool. You got Darby Allin. I think. Also in the match where he tried to do a dive from the outside, but I don't know if he went too early, but he tripped. And he tripped through the ropes, and it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. So we had that kind of stuff, so I don't really know in that sense. But yeah, we also had, Darby Allin doing coffee drop from the top onto Darby, to Kyle O'Reilly on the apron on the outside. That's pretty much what he does. But yeah, and then obviously the kind of match kind of ended with obviously Kyle O'Reilly exchange of strikes with both men, and then kindly was a hard slap to the jaw, and then Kyle using Everton Chin as a weapon to put into Allen's mouth, I guess, and that's the thing. And then obviously just got Kyle went to the top, jumped, hit that knee drop onto the back, and got the win against Darby Allin. I probably missed out some other cool stuff, but again, it's a very strange match. It was a good match, solid match, but I think on a pay-per-view probably could have not done it. I think he could have set up easily a match in the future, maybe. I don't know. It just feels like it didn't need to be on the show. But it was a solid, good match. The idea that Kai Waddy won clean on pay-per-view, I don't think we're going to put that across. I guess in just to keep the story going. I mean, I guess so. I mean, singles career, I guess. But Darby winning would have made sense if it's just a quick one-and-done feud. Would have made more a little bit sense in my eyes, anyway. But I don't know. I don't know what to say to this match, really. It's like there's no story in the sense of it probably sets up Red Dragon versus Sting and Darby Allin, whatever that match would be. So that'd be a cool match because it probably in a tag team environments would be fun. But yeah, as a singles match, one's a tag wrestler that is very good singles run, but he's basically a tag wrestler on a pay per view. I'm saying this feels like a WWE thing. They would do that. Just a random match without as much a story. Maybe it's me because I haven't watched a lot of it, so. Maybe it's my fault, but yeah, I don't know. Not a fan of this being on the show. As a match, very good. Technical, great. Seen it click very well. I like Darby Allin's basically just gone crazy. All that kind of stuff. It's fine. It's a good match. It's what you expect, the quality of AEW, but I just think it might have been maybe not put on the show. Didn't need to be on the show. It did feel better placed a little bit. But that's my opinion anyway. So, but yeah, if it's your favourite match and you disagreed, let me know in the comment below. I just don't think it should have been on the show. But yeah, so a match that definitely should have been on the show. And yeah, very good match that I was looking forward to going in a way. Because of how technically gifted these two are. Obviously, I'm talking about the AEW Women's World Championship match between Thunder Rosa and Selena Deeb. Yes, I always get that wrong. Selena Deeb. But yeah, I was looking forward to this one, so let's go and talk about that one. Yes, the next match we said we're going to talk about is the AEW Women's World Championship match between Thunder Rosa and Selena Deeb. Yes, I got to be honest, storyline-wise, I don't think there's much here that I know of, but I think it makes sense because obviously the way Selena Deeb they built as Professor of Pro Wrestling, love that. As technical gifted that she is, obviously she won. I think she won the feud against. I can't remember top of my head. Carlos Shida, that's it. Mine's gone completely blank, but Carlos Shida. After their long feud, so it's only a matter of time before she was going to go for the world title. But I do like it because again, it's just you got two kind of veterans in this sport know how to do it. So it's basically it wouldn't be like an experience thing. It's just who's going to out wrestle each other, who's going to hit the big move that gets the win. And yeah, it was a very good match. I mean, the women's division's been nothing wrong with the quality of Thunder Rosa's matches. Never been a problem. As always with the women's division, or the start, just not enough time and not enough interesting stories. That's all it is really. I just if they get more interesting stories and get us more invested, I'd jump on board. I would. But is this something in it for the story? Hopefully this might trigger a very fun, interesting story. But with the match itself, very good indeed. They obviously clicked. They obviously knew each other very well. I like how someone's been putting on clinic, like how you should put a wrestling match together. Very good here. I like the idea that G&G was working on the knee. Obviously, it makes sense if she's a high flyer. Makes sense. I like how technical it was. A lot of it was just basic counter holds after holds, that kind of stuff. The match is really cool. We got a bit right early on. We had this really cool thing. It's like a pendulum kind of submission thing. Looked really cool. You expect nothing less from the experience of Thunder Rosa being able to do that kind of stuff. We got a thing near halfway through the match as well. We've got both got a figure four leg lock locked in. And then they're sort of like rolling to the outside, then they fall to the floor type situation. You got Deep hitting her finisher, the Detox sit down powerbomb. Stu didn't get the pin. Thing he was able to kick out. But yes, obviously we got a bit later on. Deep was hitting a powerbomb, then trying to hit the cloverleaf. Surprised she didn't go for the sharpshooter because that's the kind of theme of the whole show. Type thing. But yeah, it's but the match kind of ended with I think Rosa doing a top rope superplex. And she was able to counter it into the fire. Was it Firestorm? Yes, Firestorm driver or her finisher move for the win for about 17-minute match. It's good. The problem is that Thunder Rosa's title reign has never been about her quality as a ring because she's an amazing wrestler. It's just you just don't see her. They just don't put her on prominent positions as she should be. But I like this. I like the situation of that. Maybe this might start a feud. If them two have a feud, but maybe do it as a technical who's better than who. I mean, this is But that's right. If they're ever going to do an Iron Man match, just saying, if they're ever going to do an Iron Man match or Iron Woman match, do it with these two. I think it'd be amazing. 60 minutes of them going, trying to go for falls after falls. I mean, come on, it's just writes itself. This match proves that they're very good. I like the connection they've got, and the chemistry is very good together in ring. So, and if they want to start putting women's wrestling with AW on the map, they've got to do what NXT did. That's what they did. They done Iron Man matches. They done ladder matches. They done all this stuff. And what made them stand out was they did all these matches with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. So why not Thunder Rosa do it with someone like Deep? I think that's what they're going to do. Hope that's where this feud goes. Hope it's not a one and done. I hope this is maybe the feud, because Thunder Rosa, these are defining feud, where Britt Baker was a defining feud of, it was Thunder Rosa. Maybe Deep could be hers, maybe. And that's how you build up the championship. I don't know. Every title reign needs a defining feud. I think with, like, when we get to Hangman Page, obviously we'll talk about it later, but I would sit just briefly, like, I would say his defining feud was probably peaked too early with Danny Bryan. Obviously your Punk thing, but Bryan Danielson's probably defining feud. But every good, great, solid title defense has a one that defines it. So when you think of the title, when you think, that's the feud. And I think that's all Thunder Rosa needs. She needs to face someone that defines it. So you're going to find her reign. And I think maybe Deep could be that person. I hope so. So fingers crossed there. But yes, obviously, hopefully they do a bit more with the women's division, as we talked before. It needs a lot of work. Stu needs a lot of work. It's been what's the excuse now? It's been a couple of years now. 4 years. Stu not as big as it should be. So, but there are positive signs to be had in the AEW women's division. So I have hope. That's all I've got. So that's fingers crossed, Dave. Fingers crossed. But yes, obviously after that we go on to what was it? The thing I got to talk about, but basically Anarchy in the Arena match between the Jericho Appreciation Society and what was it? Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club all joining forces to go against them. So what could happen? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan. I love that. That's a great line. But yes, so let's talk about that. So yes, obviously, let's talk about the Anarchy in the Arena match between the Jericho Appreciation Society and Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club. And I mean, that line right at the start, as I said here, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan. Pretty much defined the entire match. It is basically what happened. Shit hit the fan. It was mental. It was, I don't want to use the cliche anarchy, but it was mental. I mean, it had everything. It fired in the stage, it had blood, it had table spot, high spots, it had everything you would want from a match like this. I mean, it was just so much fun to watch. It was so cool. I'm not going to go for beat by beat because there's always with these matches, there's so many spots. I'm going to go for the ones that I enjoyed or the ones that really stood out to me. But I mean, one thing I got to point out right at the beginning is, I don't know if this was intentional or just because it's just funny, is that start of it you had Wild Thing playing and they kept it going to the start of the match. And then you thought, okay, it stops. Then it plays again and it's like, is someone not doing their job or is this part of like a skit? And I think Jericho later on then pulled the plug on it. And I'm like, oh, that's why. I think that's what happened. I'm not sure. But so they set that up so Jericho could be the dick that goes, I cut the music. Aha. And it's like, oh, you dick, Jericho. They just know how to make people want to hate Jericho. It's old school heel. I love it. But you had that going through. You had Matt's, was it getting bloodied up very early? I think with Danny Bryan. I mean, I think Kingston. I think it was very very bloody. Early on, blood everywhere. I think it was Kingston because Kingston has blood all over his top that was set up maybe Saturday on the night. We had so they were all fighting. You had like Moxley using a fork on. Can't remember who it was using the fork. That looked really deadly. I mean, the biggest spot you had in the ring. So obviously, Stu, the thing that you have to go win the match in the ring. Even all this craziness is that you got Santana Ortiz being the tag team specialists that they are, hitting a swinging neck, was it a street sweeper neck breaker on Hager through 2 tables that were on the outside. Looked amazing. Loved them spots. It's not the first time they're going to put people through multiple tables in this match. And yeah, so we have that. We have Kingston on the found a way to the arena type situation at the back, all that kind of stuff. So you know, you got, was it Matt throwing Kingston into the to where the t-shirts are, as someone jokingly, I think Xavier said, no, then they're going to be more impressed now because they got blood in it, so it's unique, you know. Then you obviously got stuff with now Jericho and Parks are bleeding. Everyone's bleeding at this point. It is a brutal match. The best spot I think was one of my favourites is obviously was it not Garza? Oh god, I can't remember now. God, my mind's gone blank. But basically, it's like it was a power, but he done a power driver and he leaped onto the steel steps again on the side. Seems to be a spot that looks amazing. But yeah, then you had that. You had Moxley throwing a Kool-Aid Jericho, looked cool. You had a really messed up thing with Kingston dragging. What's his name? Garza. I'm gonna go Garza. Yeah, that's the one. Garza dragging him with his neck. You had obviously Jericho putting the Walls Jericho on the timekeeper table, but it broke. I mean, obviously we got nothing like early on with trying to use the scooter, but it didn't work. So both botches there, but again with these kind of chaos, you're gonna get this kind of stuff, so it's fine. You had that. You had Garza. I'm gonna say Garza. I'll apologise if we get it wrong. And Kingston fought the way to the freight elevator, and it was a guy they've never seen again. They were just like Kingston would come back later, but obviously when we finally get to the ring, you got Moxley taking the taking the ring apart using the thing on the top or the post, whatever, that links the ring together, hitting Jericho with it, using the turnbuckle to give him a low blow that Jericho sold very well. Then obviously you got the thing I talk about the tables. You got Santana Ortiz doing, or Matt and Parker doing like putting them on the tables and them doing a double splash off both of the ladders through the table. I describe it terribly, but it is amazing. That kind of stuff, was able to do that. Then you got all the former WWE World Champions in the ring fighting it out: Jericho, Hager, Mox, and Bryan Danielson. There's a slugfest. Then obviously we sit there, Mox taking control. And then you got, what was it, Bryan with a label lock on Jericho, and Mox with the choke hold, the bulldog choke on Hager. So it looks like they were on the way to win. Then obviously Kingston feels like he's come from the wars or the depths of hell. Come back, he's got gasoline canister, blood everywhere. He looked freaking amazing. Gotta love Kingston. Coming out, so he wants to get revenge on Jericho because obviously the fireball in his eye. So he's going to try and put gasoline on and try and burn Jericho alive. He puts some of it, but it gets someone, Bryan Danielson. He isn't happy. They have a thing. This kind of thing breaks up. Moxley trying to break up, but it doesn't work. But then obviously Hager comes in, shoves Moxley onto the barbed wire board on the outside that we point out that he set up earlier, obviously. So this whole situation of obviously that Bryan Danielson and Kingston not getting along, which might be an interesting storyline that cost them the match. Then obviously Jericho hit a Judas effect on Kingston, and he sold like a champ because he did not get up for the entire thing. Like the most protective finisher is that Judas effect, because now Kingston. I was waiting for Kingston to come back and win it, but he didn't. He was out. So then you got Bryan trying to fight back, delivering punches, all that kind of stuff, but Bryan Danielson just couldn't. Even the finisher was at the running knee, but then you got Jericho hitting with a chair, and then tried to hit him with a chair, and then he hit a running knee on him, and then more kicks on Jericho, and then a roundhouse kick to the head. Now that's kick he's freaking facing. Then the kind of match ends with Jericho applying the words Jericho on Bryan, and Hager using the a tape or like thing to choke. I don't know if that's a homage, but something to do with that when he got sacked for a while when he made his debut years ago. But yes, obviously this took out Bryan. Nobody came to save him. So no one around him. Audrey Edwards. So he's passed out. Jericho wins. And yeah, very, very, so much fun this match. So much fun. I probably botched half of the description of it, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, I have to admit, when I first thought, I thought, Okay, I didn't see that coming. But when I think about it, it makes sense because obviously Kingston. This whole story is about Kingston and Jericho. Kingston won the first match. Jericho wins the second. So I guess in the blow-off match will be at some point against Jericho and Kingston. I don't know when that would be, but I don't know. But yeah, it's cool stuff there. So I don't know what to say really. I mean, I guess in this feud's going to continue. I don't know how brutal. How far can you go? I think this is going to involve in splitting off feuds. That would make sense. It's usually how it goes with these kind of stuff. But again, we're going to have a big match between Jericho and Kingston again, and it's going to be some sort of like brutal match or cage match. Probably would be. I mean, blood and guts, maybe. I don't know when that is, but maybe that match. I mean, someone said you've got a match between these teams, and you've got a guy that's phenomenal for saying War Games, and you're not fucking gonna do it. Come on. I don't know what blood and guts. I don't know if it's like I forget, but if I was gonna say end this feud, gotta do War Games or blood and guts, but War Games. So that's what I would do. But yeah, I mean, good stuff here. I mean, the Bryan Danielson and Kingston thing. See if that materializes into anything. Maybe it'd be interesting. Maybe they feud and that. I don't know. But yeah, fantastic match. If you like just craziness in wrestling, check this match out. Really good match. So yeah, so obviously let's go and talk about. We've got 2 more matches left to talk about. Obviously and they're both title matches. So the first we're going to talk about is triple threat for the AEW World Tag Team Champions with the Jurassic Express going against Keith Lee and Strickland, going against Team Taz with Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. From first reaction, very good match. So, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So, we're going to talk about that now. Let's talk about that now. So yes, we're almost there. Obviously, the second to last match of this pay-per-view, obviously, is the triple threat match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships with Jurassic Express defending against Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee and the Team Taz, that is Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, in an interesting match. I mean, to be fair, I didn't have a lot into this one, I've got to be honest. It was nothing really interrupt, but I thought Jurassic Express has been a good reign, but again, it's as always with tag division, you always feel like saying fiddle to somebody else. And obviously, there has been a lot of talk about like Keith Lee. What's he been doing? What's he been doing? Like, is his run being quite slow? Is it done well? Strickland's pretty cool, and obviously Team Taz is pretty awesome as well. So I should have known better. To be fair, I wasn't expecting much, but I should have known better. Knowing that, of course, this is going to be a great match. Of course, it was going to be a great match, and it was. I mean, and I don't think you won a triple threat. You've got at the start, you've got obviously the Jurassic Express doing a double, moonsault from the outside, always looks cool. You've obviously got Jungle Boy going to dive on the outside. That was a botch. I don't know, is he had the same problem if he, actually no, it wasn't actually. It was a constant, there was a bit, I'm thinking of somebody has so many botches in these matches I expected this, but it wasn't. But basically, a situation where Jungle Boy jumped on the outside after multiple people doing suicide dives, but then Keith Lee, being the beast that he is, an amazing man he is, catched him in midair, and then he power bombs him onto Luchasaurus, and then and then after that we get a nice little thing where Ricky Starks. Yes, besides blaze through how awesome that was. Then obviously you got a bit like Ricky Starks doing a thing where he's being cocky, being swag, and it was bringing up on the commentary, him doing that, and then all of a sudden. Then obviously, you know what's going to happen. Rob goes into the down belows, so don't be cocky, especially in wrestling match. Focus on winning the match. That's what it should be like. But yes, obviously we had the really cool thing that a nice little playback to an old PWG thing that Keith Lee did. I know Strickland, where basically they're on the outside, and Strickland done like a standing, jumps off the apron moonsault. Was it or moonsault or kind of like. Something like that, but basically jumps off the chest of Keith Lee. That is a homage to their indie days, because I remember seeing a video of that with someone doing Keith Lee, because Keith Lee's got a big chest, so you could probably use that as a springboard. That's freaking cool. I love that. But yes, you had that cool stuff. You had a lot of stuff with Christian getting involved a lot in the match, that I think setting up an idea that it's going to be like, you're the reason you're two champs is because of me, when he finally turns on Jungle Boy and all that kind of stuff. It's good. It's basically it's good storytelling. It's obvious to me, and it's obvious to everybody else. It's probably obvious to everyone else because it's not like it's not like it's being secretive, is it? But yes, obviously we had a scene where Strickland was trying to Ricky Starks, trying to sit there and trying to use the ropes to try and win, but obviously Christian stopped him from doing that. We had an awesome situation with a double. Obviously a lot of stuff there, kicks, flips, that kind of stuff. But then the bit right at the end, it's kind of more fitting, is you got a situation of obviously the ref is down or distracted, and you got Ricky Starks trying to use his title belt, trying to get an advantage. Christian stops him, and the match ends with obviously Jurassic Express hitting their finisher to get the win. Really, I'll probably downplay a lot of the cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff here. I think the story is basically going through this match is basically Christian is helping them more and more, so it makes like the reason there's two champs because of him. Could be a situation of that's where they're going to go that I really would like. Obviously the bit with I think Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, my doubts of like, is this going to be fun, is going to be cool, have been put to rest. Keith Lee looked amazing in this match. I am looking forward to seeing what these two is this like just a team now, or is it going to be a future team? Because I like it if it's a future team. It has all the hallmarks of what made those NXT tag team matches so much fun. High spots, great move sets, everyone having fun, everyone looking great coming out of it. Everyone looked great in this, and I love it. And I think that's why I feel like an old school NXT or PWG or like them kind of like old school kind of balls to the wall matches that they used to, but basically was one of the reasons why AEW existed. So had those kind of stuff. So I loved it. I think it's great. I think the story is they're going to lose them tag titles to someone at some point, obviously. Could be obviously because Penta and Ray Phoenix are back. Lucha Bros are back, so maybe they might want to have a shot at them to get title back. I would maybe a situation with Red Dragon or the Young Bucks win it. I would love to see Red Dragon win the tag titles. This would be great to see because it'd just be really awesome. And also I like the idea that maybe Christian costs them and then they start a feud between Christian and whatever, or maybe he turns and joins another team. I don't know, but I think there's a lot of story potential here. Keith Lee and Noah, I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if the Team Taz and Keith Lee and Strickland go in a little feud, or maybe Keith Lee and Strickland go against each other and they have a feud. Possibilities endless here. It's really cool. So so obviously no new tag team champions here. Not a lot of surprises in the show in the sense of title changes, but maybe that's setting up for the biggest change of all. Maybe, we don't know. So obviously we're going to talk about the main event. We've got through all these matches. Finally onto the main event. Let's go and talk about Hangman Adam Page defending his AEW World Championship against CM Punk. Let's look forward to it. I'm looking forward to talk about this one, the entire review. It's going to be fun, so let's talk about it. So yes, let's talk about the main event of AEW Double or Nothing. Yes, I'm talking about CM Punk, his first title match since 2012 that I can think on top of my head. 2012? Might be 2013. 2012, 2013. Going against the reigning champion in Hangman Adam Page. In a feud that's basically, I think I like it in the sense of, I think I've someone put a post and I kind of understood it. It's like, Page is just, he sees Punk for what he is. He always comes in and he always ruins the company he's in. Like, maybe we'll find out if he does but basically someone put a good point. Became world champion ROH, turned heel. Won the WWE Championship, eventually turned heel. So there's a pattern here of a person turning on himself and thinking of himself other than the actual company. And like Page is trying to save him from AEW. Like trying to save AEW from him, So that's basically the story. And as a match, it was very good, very consistent. I think it was a very well paced match. I really think it was really good. We had stuff like both trying to hit their finishers. We had Page trying to go GTS. We had Punk trying to go for the buckshot lariat, but I give glutton for punishment, I guess. Tried it once, didn't work. Twice. Maybe it's not as easy. To do it, but maybe the company did a good job saying it's to show that he's perfected the move. Basically, only Hangman can do the move because the only person that can do a flip and land and not do his knees in. So that's how it was there. We had a lot of showboating by Page, kind of like trying to really warm up Punk, trying to show, like, you know, he's the story, trying to outshine him is the word. Really here, just because he's like, you're not taking my spot and you're not going to take over this company type situation. I like that kind of confidence in Page. We'll obviously get to his title reign, obviously, later on. Obviously, there's no spoiler here. We know what happens here. So it's no point. We had a bit with the moonsault late. We had the moonsault with Punk, not Punk, Page doing the moonsault. He's known for the outside. Land on his knee. That could play in a factor later on in the match. Yes, we had that. We had obviously Punk. We obviously Punk. Obviously didn't hit GTS. I think like Page did hit the GTS on Punk and just kicked out. That was really cool. We had all kinds of stuff. We had I mean, I'm just going to go through each bit, trying to be it more. But we had a situation where basically outside he chucked near the end of the match. He chucked Punk into where the time cube was ever. Seems to be not a safe place there tonight because that's twice he's been attacked. Pulls him in, takes the title. Says you're not going to have this type situation. Then we have later on in the match, Punk tries to go for the GTS, and it seems to be a habit. Like Hangman tries to go for the buckshot lariat, and Punk always seems to catch him and try to go for the GTS. He tries to go for it here, and obviously he hits the ref, so we've got a ref bump. So where are you going to go from here? We can see. And yes, obviously after this, he's already got a title in there, and he tries to attack Punk after, and then he sees the title, picks it up, and it looks like he's going to try and hit him, beat him. Would he go that far to stop Punk from winning it? And then he couldn't do it. So he wants to be the honourable thing. Goes to the outside, tries to go for the buckshot lariat. Punk finally catches him. Like he catches him before but Punk catches him, hits the GTS. 1, 2, and 3. We have a new AEW World Champion, and that is CM Punk. Yes, I'm all on board on it. It makes sense. These are the kind of title wins I love. Title changes because it makes sense. What's more exciting, the story of the champion retain or the person winning it? And I think Punk winning it just opens up some interesting stories. The question is on Dynamite. Obviously, time this goes out, it might be before Dynamite or it might be after Dynamite. So I'm gonna go on and put myself on him. I'm assuming he's going to turn heel because it would be really cool if he's like, yeah, Page was right. He turns on you. He's not here for you. He's here for himself, type situation. And then this might be a way to build Page back up because in the eyes of some fans, his title reign has been lackluster. For storylines, yeah, it's nothing really there. It's just he's a fighting champion. That's kind of disappointing because obviously someone said it's true. The chase is more interesting than the actual reign most of the time. And I mean, I've done it before. I've done. If you want to go and check out, I've got Melee Media. Go in there, check out probably the fantasy booking that probably won me their title. Spoiler, I won it. So, but basically, I suggested that basically their mental health stuff with the whole thing of him not and anxiety and all that. You don't just lose that; it doesn't go away. So maybe he's been running on a high for so long, and maybe all that stuff comes flooding back. Now he's lost the title. It doesn't sound like on Twitter, but maybe that might be the sign of like maybe the feud is going to be like a situation of Page. Okay, yeah, you won, fair and square. You're the better man, and just don't screw this up. And then Punk turns, and then like Page is the one that has to save us and build him up as that. Or maybe like he breaks down, he comes back, and then he comes back and win again, like stronger than ever type situation. That's what I would do personally. But I'm saying it's like it's one of those things when a champ, it just opens up. It's exciting. Punk being champion is really exciting because it's like it opens up some interesting stories. Will we finally get the Summer Punk we were denied in 2011? 2011, yes. The Summer Punk we were denied. Was it that? I can't remember. It's been so long. Will we finally get that? What would Page do? It just makes sense. I mean, I watched the videos before this show talking about. It just makes a whole lot of sense that Punk win the title. And I thought, well, they've always had a plan. Do you think it's too early? But he's had it since Full Gear. He's had it a good couple of months. It's the right time to take the title. Couple of years, like on point side, WWE would have probably kept it on him for a little longer than he should. But AEW kind of know, okay, this is right time. And also, I don't mind people losing titles if it starts up a more interesting story. And I think Hangman Adam Page's story is more interesting when he's chasing the title than he actually is as champion. So if we can have a story where basically he builds, maybe like he's gone up, and then again all these problems come back, and then he has to build himself up again, and then he wins the title again, but he's a more mentally sound champion. Instead of having to prove anything, he knows how good he is. Type situation, then I'm up for it. And then Punk being like he's now champion, what is he going to do? Is he going to be a one? Is he going to be what he's always done, or has he changed? I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do. So I can't. It's done exactly what you will want the last match of the show to do, and that is get you to watch Dynamite on Wednesday, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. I want to watch the show now. Not saying I haven't before, but it's got that newfound buzz that you would want your pay-per-views to end with. It ends with a shocker, so you want to watch the TV show, and that's what it's going to do, because I want to watch it now. I want to see. They'll probably start off with Punk and the show. They would be mad not to, or at least on the end of the first hour or the start of the second hour anyway. That's what I would do. But yeah, so what a way to end the show. So yeah, so that's quick to talk about my final thoughts, and yeah, just wrap this review up. So yes, that's my review of AEW Double or Nothing 2022 in a show that I was, after thinking about it, it was a good show. It was a very good show. A lot of the matches were very high quality. The only problem I had is that it was a very long show. A couple of matches should have been cut. Probably said Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin probably should have been on the show. Maybe TBS Championship probably could have been cut or put on another night. I mean, maybe you could say that the American Top Team thing could have been a main event of a Rampage. A couple of stuff could have been cut, but they wanted to go balls to the wall because they don't have a lot of pay-per-views, so I get that. But I can't sit there and criticise WWE for how long their pay-per-views are, WrestleMania type stuff, and not criticise AEW for it, But I guess in AEW you just get more of the matches of better quality and more entertaining, so you can deal with it. I mean, it was paced well. I think the fans were really into it. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was enjoyable. After I got through actually getting through, because watching that's a lot of wrestling. If you actually got back and thought about it, it's a very good show. And I think it ended well. I think Punk being the champion is just, it's so exciting. It's exciting to see what they're going to do with him. And Page, what they do. So, yeah, if we're going to give a rating, I'm probably going to give it 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8. I think for the Punk stuff, I'll definitely give it maybe an 8 out of 10. Might be, or like a B, would be a good. It's a solid show. But it's not good enough to be like A. Particularly, I don't think anyone's going to top that Full Gear and All In pay-per-views that or All Out. Was it All In? I always get confused. Love last year because they have 2 high quality shows. So. But it has what I like. What they did is what every paper kind of should is shake things up, as Vince would say over the years. Obviously, a different company, but so now the champs changed, it shakes it up a bit. So now Punk's champion. Now we can see what he can do and see if as everyone's gone around the internet, it annoys me. Can he now move the needle? Can he bring up why are we still going on TV ratings? And it's yes, it's important to do TV ratings. But they're not the be-all and end-all of media these days. So the old moving the needle, doesn't make sense to me personally. But yeah, so we're interested to see what interesting stories come out of Punk being champion. Can't wait for Dynamite on tonight. I mean, it depends when I get this review out. So that's my review of AEW Double or Nothing. Hope you've enjoyed. Hopefully we'll be back with, again, you're probably one day just going to do reviews and then all of a sudden Josh is going to pop up and we're going to be talking about wrestling again and it's going to be awesome. So until then, you probably got stuck with a couple more solo reviews by yours truly. Yes, hopefully it'll be me and Josh. We'll be back for Hell in a Cell, I think, next week. I can't wait to see that. It's got, actually, when I looked at the card before recording, and it actually looks surprisingly alright. I mean, I think the Cody Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins seems fun. And Triple Threat, I think Oscar, Bianca Belair, and Becky Lynch in Triple Threat. Oh my god, that's going to be really good. I mean, it actually seems like a pretty alright show. To quality of AW, probably not, because obviously different aspect. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where that show goes. So that should be good. So that'll be next week. Obviously, I've just realised that obviously we've got an NXT show on next Saturday, on Saturday as well. I probably won't watch it, so I might not be doing that. But one show that I really want to review is Forbidden Door, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I cannot wait to see what they come up with. Now, I guess in AEW, that's the road to that, so maybe we might get something interesting. So, well, with a lot of stuff, a lot of pay-per-views, a lot of stuff hopefully will come back. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate all the subscriptions. Really seem to be growing really big, huge rate recently. I think last time I checked, 170 subscribers. So that goal of 200 is very coming close. So fingers crossed we can get to that. I mean, if I'm going to be optimistic, before the end of the summer. So even before then would be great. So until then, that's how we can get that. So until next time, I've been Stuart Irvine. And hope you enjoy my review, and I'll see you guys next time. So bye everyone. Bye.